Thanks for checking out another video. I'm here in the studio with Eric Cattell.
What's up, guys? Driver of the number 82 Hybrid Racing Super Touring Civic.
That
GLTC.
is a mouthful.
It is. We haven't really figured out a good name for the car.
Yeah.
It's just sick. Let's just leave it at that.
It's amazing. Yeah. We are talking about Watkins Glen, Summer Apex.
My favorite track.
What a place. First of all, what an
incredible.
amazing place Watkins Glen is. I have spent some time up there with you in the past with the rainiest weekend I think I've ever experienced in my life at a racetrack.
Let me tell you something. Going around Watkins Glen in the wet on street tires, up the S's, flat out, that was scary. That's probably the scariest thing I've ever done.
It was dicey.
There's no opportunities around Watkins Glen to catch a mistake because within a split second you'll be in a wall.
Yeah.
And we don't want that.
No, we're gonna stay away from the walls.
But yeah, so GRIDLIFE is back at Watkins Glen. The last time we were at Watkins Glen was, I believe, 2024? 2023?
It's been a couple years.
And that was a month after we had that accident.
Yeah.
So I believe that was, I don't even remember. Was it 23?
It was 24.
24. So for those of you not aware, you know, me and my dad were coming back from COTA and we had a little accident on the highway. Ended up with the EG sedan on its roof. Totaled my truck. It was a very unfortunate event, but luckily me and my dad were both okay. And the car looked in terrible shape. And within a month, you know, we got it fixed up. You know, I remember laying on my back inside the car and kicking the roof up to re-straighten the roof because it was upside down in a creek. And within, you know, a month, we were back to racing at Watkins Glen. We had an epic event. I don't quite remember how we did, but I believe we podiumed. I think we did pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was 4 straight races of rain. It was miserable.
It was so bad. You know, some of the top guys just said, I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to risk it. It was that risky.
A lot of cars in the wall.
Yep.
Like I said, man, going in the uphill S's, you know, flat out, not lifting, and just hoping that those tires were gripping the pavement. Pretty scary, but you know, that's Watkins Glen. That's why it's my favorite track, because I think it requires the biggest cojones.
Yeah. I mean, you can see it.
Yeah.
You know, when you see the elevation and the hills and all the corners.
Yeah, it's a fast track.
It's amazing.
Any really high average speed track is a good track to go on. And I'm hoping that we get dry weather because I really want to experience Watkins Glen in the dry. So like kind of rewind a little bit. A lot of my experience at Watkins Glen actually was in SCCA, you know, back when I ran the EG hatch. So ran it a bunch of times. It's a fast track. And we went with GRIDLIFE 1 year, all rain, and then hopefully this year get to experience, you know, Watkins Glen in the dry and then have some good racing.
Yeah. So what are the things I think that we're looking forward to Watkins, how we're going to approach the weekend with the setup? I mean, I think historically we don't have much data with this particular car at Watkins, especially in the dry conditions with this setup.
Yeah, we have absolutely zero data, and I think one of the biggest benefits we have as a race team is we're able to kind of keep a lot of the data every season. We have a whole setup sheet.
Yeah.
I know every single change I've made at every event in every session, but we don't have that data for Watkins Glen. So we're gonna have to kind of come in a little bit blind. Luckily, I have a lot of experience with that track, so I kind of know what we need to do. I think downforce and speed is going to be the most important thing. So we might struggle a little bit, especially with the lack of torque going up the S's. However, I do think with the handling, we can make a lot of that up, especially in the bus stop. I think being able to carry the speed through the bus stop is going to be important. And once again, we're going to be talking about curves a lot because that's where most of the time gain is going to be at this track is hitting those curves in the bus stop. And, you know, I think the Fortunato shocks with iBox springs is going to really help us there. And then, you know, shifting quick is going to be important too, especially in the uphill S's, you know, so the Hybrid Racing shifter will be, you know, put into good use at this track because I'm expecting it to be a 2 through 6 track.
Yeah.
So second gear all the way up to the top of 6. And, you know, we fine-tuned this gearbox over the last few seasons to basically top out at the max speed, which was usually road America, about 134 miles per hour. Watkins Glen, I think, will be pretty close to that, especially if we're carrying a lot of speed through turn 1, using all the curbs, shifting quick up the S's, carrying that speed. So we'll see. Hopefully the lighter formula that we have for this track won't hurt us too much, but I think I'm not going to stray too far, I don't think, from our proven setup.
So going into it, knowing all of those things, what sort of changes are we going to, kind of play with? I know with the new Fortune dampers and the iBox springs, we have some adjustments there. We can tweak that sort of setup. Brake pads obviously going to play a role into this event as well. Aero, I don't think there's going to be any aero changes.
We could dabble with taking the splitter off and running just an under tray and get a few percent weight back. We could also dabble with going up a category in terms of horsepower and weight. So we could increase the horsepower. We could add a little bit of weight to the car, and in turn that can, give us a little bit more oomph down the straightaways to kind of counteract that drag. So that's something we'll consider, and you guys will probably find out the decision that we chose once the live stream hits. And maybe we'll test both setups. Maybe we can try and see which way is the way to go.
I know there's going to be, obviously some changes, with the power, especially the type of track. It's a high-speed track. Weight matters. Maybe matters a little less at some tracks versus, ones that are typically faster.
I would say if we want to try a heavier weight setup, I think Watkins Glen would be the track to try it on. Absolutely. And it's at the end of the day, I think it's just going to be about pushing the limits at this track. Hitting those curbs. Curbs in turn 1, going through the bus stop. So obviously, a good suspension package is going to be crucial as well. And hopefully we're not carrying a lot of rewards weight. We don't really know at this point in the video. Maybe insert that here. Plus, hopefully 8.
Plus something.
If it's plus 8, that would be awesome. That means we got 8 ribbons.
So last thing, if you had to pick racing in the wet at Watkins or racing in the dry, knowing what you know, what would you pick?
Wet. Yeah.
All right. Well, you heard it here.
I do want to race in the dry though, but maybe
one session in the dry.
maybe we'll qualify in the dry and then race in the wet.
All right. Cool. So. Well, Watkins Glen.
Watkins Glen.
Summer Apex.
Watkins Glen. Hold on. I got
coming
the date
up
for you guys right here. July 24th, 25th, and 26th. It will be live streamed. Catch it on GRIDLIFE social media platform, YouTube. And then, of course, we'll be vlogging at the track, so you'll catch that video probably a few days after the event.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram. We're going to be streaming, posting all weekend, so we'll have updates. And, wish us luck.